Next up at UFC Vegas 80, we have Aoriqileng taking on Johnny Munoz Jr. Aoriqileng 24-11 overall. 2-3 in his last 5. He's coming off that early knockout loss to Amin Sahabi. He's taking on Johnny Munoz Jr. 12-2 overall. Only 2 and wait, how is he 2-3 in his last 5 if he's 12-2? What'd I mess up there? What'd I mess up there?
Oh boy.
What are they?
I think that 1-inch knockout set him back 2 losses, honestly. Because that was embarrassing for him. He was one of my, if you guys don't know, Johnny Munoz Jr. was probably my most embarrassing lock of the week of all time. So he has 3 losses.
Okay, 12-3 overall, 2-3 in his last 5. He is alternating wins and losses. Johnny Munoz Jr. is a BJJ black belt. He actually has some decent striking, some solid takedowns. He throws everything with 100% effort, but like most grapplers, that's just there to set up whatever takedowns he can get going. His BJJ is slick, both on top and off his back, but even though he's dangerous on the ground, he can be submission or bust. He's coming off that loss to Daniel Santos, where typical Johnny Munoz fight, he was dangerous early and then got real pathetic with the guard pulling. Taking on Aoriqileng. This guy's a well-rounded guy. He's got real nice pressure, real nice pace. He can fight a technical fight or even get sucked into a brawl. He uses striking to set up takedowns, but he is mostly a striker. I did mention he's coming off that knockout loss to Amin Sahabi. I mentioned this in both my Quick Picks videos, but as soon as I saw this, I was like, boom, Aoriqileng. Johnny Munoz was pulling guard in his last fight.
You know his name is Aoriqileng.
Is it really?
Aoriqileng, yeah.
Never would have gotten there. Ever. Aoriqileng, immediately wanted to bet on him. I saw Johnny Munoz Jr. This guy was pulling guard. It was pathetic. Like, how could you possibly pick that guy? And then I just start rewatching tape. It's like, damn it. I actually think Munoz can win this fight. He gets, the reality is Aoriqileng is tough, or Aoriqileng. What is it?
Aoriqileng.
Aoriqileng is tough, but
somebody said in all caps, Aoriqileng.
It's tough, but the problem is he can get out grappled. He can get taken down. He can be held down. Munoz does have some decent hands as well, decent takedowns. BJJ is phenomenal. I actually think Johnny Munoz can pull this off because if Aoriqileng takes him down, that's where Johnny wants to be. Aoriqileng can't. The name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's not great at defending takedowns either. So Johnny's gonna have the advantage on the ground, whether he gets taken down or gets a takedown. The power in the hands, it is there for all of 3 minutes. So the only way not the only way. This is even money for a reason. It could go either way. I am picking Johnny Munoz like 51%. Aoriqileng 49%. I think it's dumb close, but we'll see what happens. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, so this is going to be, like I said, a little bit biased, but I know who Johnny Munoz Jr. is because I picked him as my lock of the week. My lock of the week's win or lose. I always know what those type of fighters are, and he is very, very talented grappler. I mean, very, very talented. So much so that he was pulling guard on Willie Cat, and he wasn't not getting super close on stuff, but you could see like, oh shit, this guy is very dangerous in the way that he was working his legs, the flexibility. I mean, he is just a regular Vanessa Demopoulos off of his back. But the issue with Johnny Munoz Jr. is his striking, to me, is fucking terrible. He looks the part, right? He's in and out, looks karate style. He'll come in with the big strikes, but he holds that chin up, and he paid dearly against Tony Gradley for that. I mean, that was a very short shot, but he got knocked the fuck out on a shot that probably should not knock out most people. His striking is not great. It's chin in the air. You can see, especially when he is backing up, it is not off the center line. It is just, he is just throwing his head back, and that is a recipe for disaster against a guy like Aoriqileng. But I was a little bit impressed early against Willie Cat on his takedowns. It wasn't like jiu-jitsu, like you see Mackenzie Dern like trying to get these weird takedowns and stuff. I mean, they look like pretty explosive singles, explosive across the octagon. And if he brings that type of energy, those type of takedowns into this fight early against Aoriqileng, he probably can win this fight. He probably can.
You just butchered his name too.
I said Aoriqileng.
Long, L-O-N-G?
I don't know what you want from me.
That's what it is?
Aoriqileng. I'm from Indiana. That's what I say.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
What is it, Aoriqileng? I think it's Aoriqileng.
I don't know. You're the one who was telling me what it is, but it wasn't
Aoriqileng.
long. Yeah, it wasn't long.
I don't know. Fucking. If he gets a takedown, if this fight goes to the ground at all, Johnny Munoz Jr. is probably going to win the fight. So this is another one of these situations where I'm going to make a pick right now. Don't really listen to the pick. Understand what I am playing in this pick, because I'm playing both sides of this thing, baby. Because I cannot trust Johnny Munoz's chin, his striking. I know Aoriqileng can knock people out. I can't trust Aoriqileng to defend takedowns. If anything, Aoriqileng seems like a guy that might try to pull guillotine on the first shot for whatever reason, take himself down. So I'm playing both sides. I have first-round finishes for both these guys. A second round, a little bit for Johnny Munoz Jr. My pick is going to be Aoriqileng because I can't trust Johnny at this point, and he can get knocked out. I have to assume that he knows the takedowns are coming, defend the takedowns, he can win against this guy. So my pick's Aoriqileng, but I got money on both sides, and I would not be surprised at all if Johnny finds this on the ground. If it goes to the ground, he's probably going to submit this guy. He's a very high-level guy.
Very good. He's very good. But I mean, look at the striking stats for Lang. 6 significant strikes landed per minute. That's a very high number. 7 received. Like, he's just both sides of that.
That might hit. I mean, that might pay off for him.
Oh, I agree. Johnny's going to shell up and pull guard and break him.
That's not what I was saying. No, I was saying it might pay off because if Johnny starts having success with his hands, he might say, "Oh, I'll just strike. I don't need to get the takedowns." And then that one shot comes where Aoriqileng is just like pop, 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 absorbing shots, and then boom, that shot comes. So if Johnny gets pulled in to that striking match because Aoriqileng can get hit, that's going to be bad news for Johnny. He needs to get this fight to the ground. If he does, he can win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the Johnny Munoz side. I'm not throwing money on this. I mean, it says minus 110 open and minus 110 now. The line did move. That's not saying that no money came in. The line hasn't moved. The line actually has been moving. It's been yo-yoing back and forth, and it just keeps ending up here because anytime somebody's going to get plus money on one of these guys, they're just betting it. And then it flips, and then they bet, and then it just keeps going back and forth. I don't imagine, it's going to move much after this. I think it's going to close pretty much even. There might be a jump for one of these guys after weigh-ins. If somebody looks phenomenal at weigh-ins, there may be a jump there, but I think it's dead even for a reason, and it should be dead even. DraftKings picked the side, and they made Aoriqileng the slight favorite.
Yeah, and I think I don't know how you feel about this, but fight does not go the distance. It's only minus 150. Under 2.5 is minus 120. They actually opened that line, and I tried to play it at like plus 130 or something. I was like, oh shit, and I placed it, and when I placed it, it went to like minus 150. It's minus 120 now, but I don't know if I see this fight going the distance.
I agree. I doubt it as well. Both these guys have been chinny in the past. Like both, I doubt it'll go the distance as well. But sometimes you get two sloppy guys that ends up being a 15-minute sloppy fight. This card and the next card are dicey, very, very dicey.
I like this card. I think I like this card.
Well, that's a great segue because if you guys want to see everything that Jacob likes on this card and all the bets, and if you want to use the tools to help you find your own bets, just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. You'll unlock everything you have ever needed. It is only $10 a month for an entire month. Every single event that month, only 10 smackaroos. Next is supposed to be Chris Gutierrez versus Montel Jackson, but he's now fighting Aoriqileng Haley next week. I thought it was this week. It's next week. I already broke that fight down. I had the graphics ready to go, and Jacob reminded me it's not on this card. So, is what it is. You know what's funny while we were streaming just now?
Oh!
You know what was funny while we were streaming just now? While my neighbor across the street.
More neighbor stories. Here we go. Settle in, everyone.
We go hunt, him and I go hunting doves. Me and a couple neighbors go hunting doves.
Are you going to tell people what you do with those doves?
You eat them. I eat them. I don't know why you said it like that. Anyway, that old school video clip of that like fat Italian dude? He's like a kid. He's like, oh, hey, gabagoo, gabagoo. He sent that to the hunting group chat. And he said, this is Angelo at 6:10 when we're meeting at the truck at 6:15. And then it's just like, hey, oh, God, in the mirror, just like playing with his chain. I thought that was pretty funny because that is. If you look good, you hunt good.
Yeah, I would.
You know what I mean?
Maybe tell that story again, but try to make it let's try to improve upon that, because that's what a lot of times in comedy you'll have a good idea, which I think that is a good base, but you really you got to kind of spice it up. So if you want to give it another try.
So me, a couple of guys, we go hunting, and they're Texans through and through, just like good old Texans, and I'm me. And I talk like this and I act like this. And I'm usually late. I'm usually a good 5-10 minutes late to meet out by the truck to go hunting. And my buddy just sent me a video clip of this fat, greased up Italian guy going, hey, oh, gabagoo. And he said, this is Angelo at 6:10 when we're supposed to meet at 6:15.
Naked in the mirror.
Naked in the mirror. Go, hey, oh, gabagoo.
That would have made it better.
Yeah. All right.
You know what the difference is between ordinary and extraordinary, Angelo?
That little bit extra?
Just that little extra.
I'll work on it. You know what it is? It's hard to be funny. Matt Rife said it correct. People don't want to laugh at somebody like super handsome. And that's why it's very, very hard for him to get his comedy going. So that's why you're funny and I'm not.